Kristin. Welcome to my mess. Well, today I wanted to quickly share some cards that I made over the weekend. Super quick, trying to squeeze in some cards that I made with the SheetLoad of Cards for May 2025 that our crafty friend, Crafty Al, puts out every month. I had them made by the end of May, just didn't get around to filming this video real quick. The weekend kind of got away from me. But I just wanted to share real quick the couple cards that I made. I will link below to Crafty Al's YouTube channel, as well as the debut video that she talked about last month in regards to this particular sketch. I think it's a fun one, and I hope you give it a try if you haven't already. And our other crafty friend, Sarah from Sassy's LLC, she created an emergency card kit that has some sentiments that could be used with this particular sketch that fit this image here in this white space, if that was something one might want to do. And I sure did take advantage of that. It is volume 69 of her emergency card kits, and I'll make sure to put some links below as well. Now, these were some of them that I cut out that I didn't end up using, but I have them ready to go in case I recreate this card in the future, or if I just need a sentiment on a card. You never know what card sketch these might be good for. And the paper that I used this was inspired from the Wildflowers collection. I got this paper pad at a resale, and this is from Crafter's Companion, and I really enjoyed a lot of the patterns through here. Well, I've noticed that Crafter's Companion has put some of their papers out on their website in digital format. Well, that was appealing to me, so I went ahead and took a look. And they have this Wildflowers collection. Here's some scraps that I used. They do print out in an A4 or 8.5 by 11 size format. And if you do print the picture directly, I was able to get borderless printing on mine. So I did like these. And here was a set that I used as well. I like how this solid kind of in here is the solid that's in the background. And I say solid, that's like the May term of solid, right? But it's the subtle pattern, I guess you would call it, is in the background. And of course, love those orange flowers. And I got saved a little bee for perhaps the next time. And for, you know, my Team Purple folks, while I didn't make a card with it, I did print this one out because I did like the look of that as well, with the purple and the yellow together. And I thought, oh, those might make some great birthday cards for some craft roulette friends. The subtle solid background in this one was this kind of yellowy gold, kind of textured looking one. So I thought, oh, well, that was good. Just as a side note, I did notice that these printed lighter, and that could just be my printer or my printer settings, or perhaps the paper that I'm printing on. But they did come out a bit lighter than what they were actually in the paper pad. For instance, that purple one, this was the paper here originally from the paper pad, but this is how my printer printed it out. Well, pretty. I think I like the lighter, brighter color a little bit better. So for this particular one, I'm going to go ahead and use. And this one, of course, big difference. The printed papers match well with each other, and the digital printed papers match well with each other. So, you know, at least you have that in mind. Let's see if we can find that orange one, and just to give you a comparison. Oh, here we go, right at the back. Perfect. Here was the background. So definitely lighter. And this one I think could kind of go either way. And then here's that cute little bee. So this one definitely printed lighter. And as you can see, the images are a little bit bigger. It almost seems out of focus, but depending if you're using it as a background paper and how much you really want shown, that could be a design preference that you may consider if you have this pad versus going for the digital. So I will be keeping that in mind for any other digitals that I get from Crafter's Companion based on their paper pads. I did use some Gina K inks for some inking. I used a light lilac and a tomato soup. Well, time for the reveal. Here's the first one I made with those, with this other half here with the background, and I think that kept pretty much to the sketch that Crafty Owl had shared with us. So I did like that. I like the little bit of inking that the light lilac color provided. I think it made it stood out. Just need to add some gems and pick a recipient, and this one will be ready to go. Now I tried to get a little artsy fartsy with this second one. I really just liked the pattern that that paper provided, especially with all that orange in there. So I'm not sure what I may add to the front. Again, one of Sarah's sentiments may go perfect on that, especially with a little inking. Maybe I'll just cut off that part. Maybe in some of her other kits, or happy birthday vibes, she might have in very well any other kit in her circle sentiments or those other size rectangles. Maybe even a strip sentiment, so that way I can keep the background. But I made a Z-fold card. And boop! Well, per the sketch, there were these background strips, and of course in the first card was able to go ahead and do that. But in this one, since I didn't want to cover up the paper, I just put them on the inside. Kind of thought it made it look a little more like a crate. And then of course I had to celebrate absolutely everything. I might put a sticker here, or maybe I'll find a little sub-sentiment or some gems. And then, of course, I can write on the inside. Fun little side note, here was the fold of the card base. This was a strip of paper because I realized after I had put it on that you would see that little bit of the craft card and everything else through there, and it didn't look balanced to me. So I fudged it a little and put that white strip down there. So then when you opened it, I don't know, it balanced a little bit better in my mind's eye. You let me know what you think. But then because there was this strip down here and then the card base back here, it left this gap. And I thought, oh, that gap looks a little funny. So I just used some ribbon that I had in my stash and kind of put that on there just to see. And I kind of liked it. The color isn't an exact match, but it's close enough. So there we go, trying to be artsy fartsy, and not sure. I wouldn't call it an epic fail, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a total success. It's somewhere in the middle. But I do think it's a fun card that someone would love to receive at some point in time. Well, thank you again for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed these couple cards that I made with the sheet load and explanations about some of the paper that I had. Let me know if you have any thoughts about that or any questions, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!